Thanks for joining us here at Functional Bliss, where Audra and Jessica will guide you through exercises and wellness techniques to help you live your best life every day. It's in the name after all, Functional Bliss. Before you do anything else, click like and subscribe and ring the bell so you'll know whenever we put up a new video. To join our Blissful Gang for live Zoom classes where you can get more direct suggestions and encouragement, go to our website and sign up. Check the class description below for any equipment needs, grab your gear, and let's get started.
Okay, so we are doing a little seated, a little standing variation of our work today. But to start, come to a nice, comfortable seated position. And I should say also, just for that ease of transition, when we do come to standing work, we're just going to go side saddle and side saddle to get up to standing. So just if you like that, putting your chair in a particular place, just know that we're going to the sides when we stand up. All right, so start by scooching your butt way back. Let your back settle against the back of your chair. Close your eyes or soften your gaze and just take a moment here to take a couple nice gentle breaths. As you start to settle in and things start to quiet down just a little bit, take a moment to just listen into the sounds around you. And especially here, as you're listening in, if you can, close your eyes or just reduce as much visual input as you're experiencing and just see if you can listen into all of the sounds around you. But rather than trying to name each sound or trying to differentiate what you're hearing, just let all of the sounds come in to meet your ears. Take one or two more breaths, just allowing the sound to come in to meet your ears. And then see if within all of the sounds around you, can you start to notice or hear the sound of your own breath, which may be very quiet and may be very subtle, but see if you can just get the sense of what your breath sounds like here. Still noticing the sound of your breath or the idea of the sound of your breath, but now see if you can add on and also notice the physical sensation of breath coming in and out through your nose. You may feel that slight sense of wind coming in and out. You may feel the hairs of your nose gently moving a little bit. You may notice the coolness compared to the warmth of the breath as it comes in and out. So see if you can just notice that physical action of breath while you still listen into the sound of your breath. Take one more moment here. And then keeping your eyes closed or keep your focused gaze so that you're reducing as much input coming in your visual sense. You're going to lift your back away from your seat, and then you're going to take your left hand and you're going to tuck it underneath your right arm. So you're going to get a good spread of your fingers across the side of your rib cage, and then let your elbow soften back down. Come back to your breath. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose if you can, but find that expansive sense of breath in your rib cage. Take one more breath here. We're going to see if we can still keep our sense of awareness on that side of the rib cage, but now we're going to release our hands. So you're going to just let your hands slip away and then come back to that breath awareness. Breathe into the side of your rib cage. Cool. Now we're going to take it to the other side. So right hand's going to reach across, spread your fingers nice and wide, find a good spread of fingers on the rib cage, let your elbows soften down, and then breathe in expansively into the rib cage, breathing in and out through your nose if you can. Take one more breath with the hand on the rib cage, and then we're just going to let that hand slip away, but still keep your focus or awareness on the rib cage space. And then take another breath, noticing the movement of breath in your ribs. Nice. And now we're going to take both hands and we're just going to kind of frame the rib cage. So get as much of a handhold as you can on the sides of your ribs. And then once you've got that frame or that handhold, close your eyes or soften your gaze. Take a big expansive breath. Breathe out into the edges of your hands. Take one more breath. And then bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Pause here just for a moment to set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice, never doing anything that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. With that intention set, hands are going to slide towards the knees and eyes are going to open if it feels good to do so, moving right into a seated cat-cow. As you inhale, lift your heart, lift your chin. As you exhale, round your back, round your shoulders, tuck your chin towards your chest. Inhale to lift your heart. Exhale to round your back. And now for the next 3 cycles of breath, as you breathe in and out, you're going to push gently down into your feet and almost feel as if you're trying to drive that movement of cat-cow down from your feet, pressing forward into your knees, moving through your spine. Take one more time through, pressing down into the feet, and then soften up that press down into the feet and feel like your hands are gently pressing into the kneecaps to drive that cat-cow. Take one more cat-cow here with that gentle pressure from your hands to your knees. And then we're going to lift the heart. Elbows are going to drop down to the thighs or the knees. And then you're going to just gently pull forward to the kneecaps as if you're trying to pull your heart forward. So pull forward, think Sphinx position or a light baby cobra. Pull the heart forward, squeeze between the shoulder blades, lift your chin just enough so you feel maybe a little tender stretch in the front of the neck and the throat. And then take a breath here. Take one more inhale, but then as you exhale, you're going to soften and fold down towards the ground and just let your hands slide down towards your feet. Does not matter if you can touch your feet, but just find a gentle folded position. Soften the back of your neck. And now see here if you can find your feeling of breath in the back of your body. So think back of the shoulder blades, back of the rib cage. Take a nice big expansive breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, slowly, gently, mindfully walk yourself back up to an upright position. And then we're going to pick up one leg and then pick up the other leg. So we're just going to grab hold of the knees, pull them up towards the heart, but you're going to let your hand do a little bit of the heavy lifting. So rather than all of that force coming from your hip flexor muscles and your thighs, let your arms help assist. Nice. Take one more time each side. And now your legs are going to do all the work. Arms are going to be wherever they like the best, but you're going to take your leg and just cross one leg over the other. And then just at the edge of it, step it off and then switch to the other side. Step one leg across the other, pick it up, step it off. And it doesn't have to go all the way across. So for any variations of movement and mobility, you want to take it just to where it feels good, right to the edge of your movement, and then take it back down to the ground. Beautiful. Take one more cross each side or even yourself out. And then we're going to take the left foot, cross it at your ankle. So take a little cross there. So there's a slight external rotation. Lean your heart forward. So think hip hinge. Keep a nice long spine. Come back up nice and slow and controlled. Hip hinge, lean your heart forward. Come back up nice and slow and controlled. Do that one more time. Hip hinge, lean your heart forward. Come back up nice and slow. Step that foot off and we're going to switch right to the other side. Cross at the ankles, find that slight bit of external rotation, hip hinge, lean your heart forward, come back up nice and slow, hip hinge, come back up, hip hinge, come back up, uncross your legs, and now we're going to take it into that bigger figure four. So you're going to bring it up just to the edge of it, touch, and then set it down. And then we're just going to take a few bits of dynamic work here. So we're just kind of come ish to that figure four shape and then step it off and move right to the other side. Beautiful. Take one more time through or even yourself out. And then we're going to stick with that work for a little bit, but we're going to just change the variation of the upper body. So you're going to take your thumbs and hook your thumbs, and you're going to bring your arms up and overhead with a little bit of pulling tension. So you're going to pull a little bit against the thumbs so you feel the back of the body is a little bit strong and kicked on. And now we're going to keep that going. Take a figure four. You're going to hip hinge, lean forward just a little bit, but you're still going to tug on those thumbs. Come back up, step that foot off, switch to the other side, step it across, hip hinge, keep the thumbs tugging on each other, come back up, step it off, and then take about 2 more times each side, but find a pace that makes the most sense to you. Beautiful. Take one more time through or finish yourself up. And then once you step both feet back down onto the ground, float your hands down, pause for a moment in your seated mountain pose, press gently down into the feet, feel your butt connected to the chair, feel a little bit of energy down into your fingertips. Take a breath, inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, hands through heart center, hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, we're going to lift the heart and fold forward. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale, we'll soften back down, and then we're going to roll up through the spine. Pull the abdominal muscles in. Gently roll your way up. Roll your shoulders up to your ears. Roll them around, down and back. Come through mountain pose. Nice. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, lift your heart and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Pause there for a moment. Reach a little bit through the crown of your head. Feel that little bit of strength in your back. And then on your next exhale, soften back down, pull the abdominal muscles in, roll your way up to standing, roll your way up to that upright seated position, roll your shoulders around, down and back. Nice. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Pause there for a moment. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Notice the strength in your back. On your next exhale, soften back down and then pull the abdominal muscles in, roll your way up, roll your shoulders up to your ears, around, down and back. And now fingertips are going to find the shoulders. And we're going to start to draw some elbow circles. Just find a slight, small range of motion just to bring a little bit of warmth into the shoulder. Take one more circle around in this direction. And then when you're ready, reverse and go the other way. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, release your hands down at your sides, come back to your mountain pose. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Right hand to the left shin, left hand reaches up for a twist. Release that hand down, slide up your shin, bring your knee to your chest, bring your nose to your knee. Release that down to the ground. Come through your mountain pose. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Left hand over to the right shin, right hand reaches for a twist. Release that hand down, slide up your shin, bring your knee to your chest, bring your nose to your knee. Beautiful. Release nice and slow. And now we're going to start to find just a nice wide step. So you're going to step one foot out, take it nice and wide, step it back in, switch to the other side, step it out nice and wide, step it back in. Find a light dynamic pace so that you're just feeling like you're getting the muscles warmed up. You're working into the hip joint just a little bit. Beautiful. Take one more time each side or even yourself out. And then as you step both feet back in, we're going to toe heel them out just a little bit. So slightly wider than shoulder width distance apart. And then once you found your way there, we're going to start with some light dynamic twists. You're going to twist to one side, twist to the other side, find a little bit of light movement in the spine. Try to keep your legs as anchored as you can so they're not wiggling and wobbling too much. Beautiful. Now, the next time your right hand finds the left knee, stay there, get a little bit taller, take a nice big breath. And now left hand or the back hand is going to reach up and just touch the back of the head. And we're going to take some light little side bends. So you're going to tip over towards that right knee and then lift yourself back up. Tip over towards your knee. Lift yourself back up. Tip over towards your knee. Lift yourself back up. And this time we're going to tip over and stay there for one extra cycle of breath. Beautiful. With control, lift yourself up, unwind yourself and take it over to the other side. Pause there for a moment. Take a breath, get nice and tall. Back hand or right hand is going to touch to the back of the head and then tip over towards that left knee and lift yourself back up. Tip over towards your knee. Lift yourself back up. Tip over towards your knee. Lift yourself back up. And this time we're going to tip over, stay there for an extra cycle of breath. Beautiful. Lift up with control. Release your hand, unwind your twist, toe heel your feet back into about hip width distance apart and come back through your mountain pose. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, right hand over to the left shin, left hand reaches up for a twist. Release that hand down, slide up your shin, bring your knee to your chest, bring your nose to your knee, stay here for an extra cycle of breath. Lovely. Set that foot down, release through mountain pose. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, left hand over to the right shin, right hand reaches up for a twist. Release that hand down, slide up your shin, bring your knee to your chest, bring your nose to your knee. Stay here for an extra cycle of breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, slowly release that leg. And now we're going to step to one side. So you're going to step into that side saddle position. We're going to start with a quick light rotation towards the back of the chair. Anchor against the back of the chair. Get nice and tall. Take a breath. And then we're going to unwind all the way. So we're going to unwind and then let our hands find the side of the chair. Pivot yourself around. Pick your butt up. Find a little bit of a tabletop position at your chair. Take one cat-cow. Inhale, drop your belly. Exhale, round your back, and then start to step your way back into a downward facing dog shape. So find that nice little V shape, push back into your butt just a little bit. Take a moment to find a little space for your head to drop between your arms if you can. Take one more breath. We're going to keep our arms and our heart facing towards the side of the chair, but now we're going to walk our feet over to the side. So you're going to walk your feet away from the back of the chair. So you're going to walk your feet to the side. Heart and arms are going to stay facing forward. Take a breath. Awesome. And then soften up just enough so that you can walk your feet back in so that they're facing the side of the chair as well. Take one more moment and then soften your knees, lift yourself up. We're going to walk towards the chair. Hands going to find the tall back side of the chair. And then we're going to take it into a little half dancer. So you're going to pick your foot up, see if you can catch hold of your foot. And then once you've caught hold of your foot, you're going to move it a little bit side to side. So you're going to swing your heel towards your left butt, towards your right side of your butt. So just swing it a little bit side to side, but be mindful, move it in a way that feels reasonable and no shooting pain anywhere. No pain in the knee, no pain in the hip. Take one more little movement side to side, and then we're just going to keep a fairly loose handhold. So typically, sometimes I say, hug your heel into your butt, hug knee in towards knee. You're just going to keep a slightly loose handhold, but you're going to think about letting your knee get nice and heavy towards the ground. Take one more breath. Gently release that foot down to the ground. Hands are going to find the low side of the chair. Take a cat-cow, but on this cat-cow, you're going to think about pushing with intention into your feet. So you're going to drop your belly, lift your chest, feel your feet pushing into the ground. Round your back, tuck your chin into your chest, feel your feet connected and pressing down into the ground. Soften into a neutral position. Pivot your way around so you come back through a seated position. Find your seated mountain pose. Pause there for a moment. Take a breath. Nice. And now we're going to step it to the other side. So you're going to find that side saddle seated position, rotate towards the back of the chair. Think about getting nice and tall. Take a breath. Awesome. Unwind your rotation and let your hands find the side of the chair. Now we're going to pivot, swivel our butt around, find that tabletop position on the other side. One cat-cow, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Round your back. Find a fairly neutral spine and then walk it out to your downward facing dog shape. Our arms and our heart are going to stay facing towards the side of the chair, but our feet are going to walk around. So now we're going to walk our feet around so they're either facing towards the front of your mat or away from the back of the chair, just depending on what position you're in. Find that little side stretching position, heart forward, arms forward, take a breath. Nice. And then when you're ready, slowly and mindfully walk your feet back around, come back to your down dog shape, take a breath. And then soften your knees, lift your heart, walk yourself back towards the chair, hand on the tall side of the chair. Once you found the tall side of the chair in that upright position, you're going to see if you can catch hold of your foot. And you do have the option to use your strap. If catching hold of the foot feels a little bit like there's not enough room to move, you can use your theraband or your yoga strap and catch hold. And then once you've got a hold of your foot that makes sense, we're going to move it just a little side to side. Go with a range of motion that makes the most sense to you. No shooting pain in the knee, no shooting pain in the hip. Beautiful. One more little movement side to side, and then we're going to think about keeping a slightly loose handhold, but let your knee get nice and heavy towards the earth. Awesome. When you're ready, slowly release that foot down to the ground. Hands are going to find the low side of the chair. This time, when we take our cat-cow, we're going to focus on pushing down into the hands. So we're going to feel that broad and expansive feeling in the shoulders and the back of the body. Drop your belly, lift your chest, and then exhale, round your back, but push gently down into your hands to feel that space in the back of the body. And then when you're ready, release. And then we're just going to softly bring ourselves back to that seated position. So take your time, come back to your seat, and then find your seated mountain pose, feet nice and firm on the ground, arms down at your sides. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, right hand over to the left shin, left hand reaches for a twist. Release that hand down, slide up your shin, bring your knee to your chest, bring your nose to your knee. Release nose from knee, but hang on to that knee, grab the heel, take a little in and out with that leg. And then keep that external rotation, rock the leg a little side to side. Wonderful. And now we're going to bring it into that figure four. So we're going to hang out here. We're going to hook our thumbs, pull on the thumbs, bring the arms up and overhead, get that little tug, hip hinge, lean forward, go right to your edge, go as far forward as you can, but keep tugging on the thumbs. And then with control, use the muscles in the back of your body, bring yourself back up. Tug on the thumbs, hip hinge, lean your heart forward. Tug on your thumbs, bring yourself back up. Tug on your thumbs, hip hinge, bring yourself forward. And now we're going to clip our elbows over our shins. So you're going to get that nice long reaching position. And then once you're as far forward as you can, hook your elbows against your shin. We're going to make our leg nice and solid. So you're going to keep your leg as strong as you can, elbows hooked over the shin, and then do a little traction like you're pulling your elbows forward against your shins as if you're trying to lengthen your spine. Pause there, take a breath. Awesome. And then you're just going to soften into your figure four. So arms and hands wherever feels the best, but find that softer position and then just take a nice big breath. Lift up through the crown of your head. Take your time as you come up nice and slow. Help lift that leg all the way up and off. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Left hand over to the right shin. Right hand reaches for a twist. Release that hand down. Slide up your shin. Bring your knee to your chest. Bring your nose to your knee. Hang on to that knee, but now grab the heel and take a little in and out with the leg. Beautiful. And then keep it in that external rotation. Rock it a little side to side. Nice. And then bring it into your figure four. Pause there for a moment. Notice. And now we're going to hook our thumbs, a little tug on the thumbs, bring them up and overhead. Keep that tugging sensation. Hip hinge, reach as far forward as you can. Tug on those thumbs, come up nice and slow and controlled. Tug on your thumbs, hip hinge, lean as far forward as you can. Tug on the thumbs, come back up nice and slow and controlled. Tug on the thumbs, hip hinge, come forward. And this time we're going to take our elbows over the shin. Get that little traction, release your thumbs, and then keep your leg nice and solid, ankles nice and solid. So we want to use the strength of our legs to help find that traction. Anchor against your shins, pull your spine forward. Beautiful. And then soften into your figure four. So let your hands and your arms just rest wherever feels the most comfortable. Take a breath. Lovely. And then when you're ready, come up nice and slow and controlled. Take your time. Help lift that leg up and off. And then we're just going to take a couple light little windshield wipers just to kind of soothe everything out, make sure it all feels good. Once you've got it all soothed out, we're going to take it into our cow face pose. So we're going to crisscross our legs. So if the left leg is on top, right arm is going to be on top. I got to think for a minute. If you like to use your yoga strap for this or your theraband, you're going to take that theraband, drop it behind your back, creep your hands together as close as you can without the body rounding forward. So we want to still keep that nice long uplifted spine. Cross your legs, get your arms arranged. And then once you're there, you're going to think nice long spine. You're going to hip hinge, lean forward to the point where you feel like a little bit of compression against your hip flexor or against your belly. So we want to go as far as we can to the point where we feel that light bit of compression, and then take a breath. Two more cycles of breath, but you're going to see if you can listen into the sound of your breath here. Beautiful. Come up nice and slow and controlled. And then we're just going to unlace our legs, unlace our arms, and switch over to the other side. So crisscross your legs, drop that band behind you, or just do your grab. You can also grab hold of your shirt, or you can clasp your fingers. Whatever grab works good for you so that you still keep that nice uplifted spine. And then once you're there, lean forward. We want to feel that little bit of compression. So get as far forward as you can so you feel a little bit of squeeze in that hip flexor, maybe a little pressure against the abdomen, and then see if you can come back to your breath. Nice, generous breath in through the nose and out through the nose. And then for these last few cycles of breath, notice the sound of your breath. Lift up through the top of your head. Let your heart follow. Come up nice and slow. Release your legs, release your arms, set your band off to the side if you're using that, and then give everything a little shrug and the wiggle. Shruggle out your shoulders, wiggle out your hips. And then we're just going to bring one arm across the chest, grab hold of the back of the arm, tug it in as much as feels good. We're going to drop the shoulder down just a little bit to keep a little space between the shoulder and the ear. Once you've got that little space, nod your chin up and down. Wonderful. One more little nod of the chin up and down, and then we're going to release our hand out to the side and give it a good, generous shake. Shake, shake, shake it out like you've got water at the edge of your fingers and you're just trying to really vigorously shake it all off. 2 more shakes, but you're going to notice the sound of your breath. Awesome. And then we're going to switch right to the other side. Bring the arm across your chest, grab the back of the arm, hug it in as tight as you can, drop the shoulder down, make that little bit of space, and then add the nodding of your head up and down, but only if that part feels good. One more nod of the head up and down, and then head comes to neutral position. Release that arm and give it a good, generous shake. One more good, gentle shake. And then we're going to take our hands and we're going to grab the muscles. So we're going to do a double hander this time. So we're going to grab the muscles that run along the cervical spine. So you've got your cervical spine and you've got muscles along each side. You're going to pinch and pull back. So you're going to pinch those muscles and pull them backwards. And you might alternate hands, but we're just going to move up and down the cervical spine, pinching the muscles, pulling it back. Take one more little pinch and pull, moving up and down. And then we're going to take the index finger, bent finger knuckles, and we're going to push gently into where the jaw meets the ear. So we're going to take those little knuckles, push in, and then we're just going to take a moment to close your eyes down, take a breath. Feel that little bit of gentle pressure. You're going to keep your mouth closed. You're going to keep your lips closed. And then you're going to draw or trace the inside of your lips with your tongue. So we're going to keep our fingers on that jaw point. Keep your lips closed. Take your tongue and trace along the inside of your lips. Nice. And then we're going to reverse directions, go the other way. So draw your circles the other way with your tongue. One more circle around, and then take those knuckles at your cheek and just give them a little wiggle jiggle. And then once you wiggle jiggle just enough, release your hands down. Take a moment to just let everything come to a stillness for a moment. Eyes closed down, feet on the ground, hands resting gently. Take a nice gentle breath in. Slow breath out. And then start to walk yourself back in your seat to, if you like, a seated Shavasana. If you prefer to take your Shavasana on the ground, or you want to go for a little legs up the wall and kick your feet up over the chair, do what feels the best to you. Take a moment to just get yourself into a nice, comfortable position where you can find a little bit of stillness that makes sense in your body. And then once you're there, just allow your breath to come in and out at a nice, gentle rhythm. And then as your body settles in, as your breath starts to slow down, now see if you can come back to all of the sounds around you and let those sounds just come in to meet your ears without trying to give anything a name or identify anything in particular. Just let all those sounds come in to meet you. You always have the option to stay in your Shavasana just as long as you like. But if you feel ready to do so, or if your morning requires it, start to just gently reawaken. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, take a nice gentle breath. And then if you can, flip your palms so palms are facing up, open towards the ceiling. Pause for a moment, just notice the air on the skin of your palms. And then we're going to do that nice light touch. So you're going to catch a butterfly. You're going to gently draw the fingers in like you're trying to cup a butterfly in the palm of your hands, and then gently release the butterfly, open your fingers just a little. Draw the fingers in, cup the butterfly in your palms, open your hands and release the butterfly. Draw your fingers in, catch the butterfly. Open your fingers out. And now as we release the butterfly here, we're just going to stretch the fingers out and away from each other. Maybe give them a little wiggle in that nice tense position. And then stretch your arms up and overhead to get into that big good morning stretch. And then walk your feet out away from you as well. Reach, reach, reach. Maybe your feet lift. Take as much of a yawning stretch as feels good to you. And then once you feel like you've woken your body up just enough, release that big good morning stretch. Sit up nice and tall. Walk your butt forward in your seat. And then pause here for just a moment. Feel your feet connected to the ground. Notice your breath coming in and out of your nose. Notice the movement of breath in your rib cage. And then to finish our practice, we're going to come through a forward fold all the way up to standing. So if you like, slide your hands forward, find the ground in front of you. If it feels available, you're going to keep that folded position, but lift your butt up away from your seat. So you come into a standing forward fold position. Let your head drop down for a moment. Take a breath. If it feels nice, you might also choose to rock your hips just a little bit side to side, just to find a little gentle movement there. And then when you feel ready, bend your knees, push with intention down into your feet, come all the way up to standing, raise your arms up and overhead and just find that nice big open expansive reach, and then release. I bow to you. You guys are amazing. Awesome work today.